So we're out here on the range today. Jamie got a new gun. He got a Glock 26. And we took some heat on the last videos because we only showed the SIG P365. We want to show that we are more than just a SIG fan, that we do enjoy our Glocks too. So let's take a look at Jamie's new gun and see how it does on the camera.
All right, so one thing we're noticing is when you go to eject your first round, just doing a slingshot method, there's some substantial resistance there. You can feel it. Probably hard to show on camera, but you can definitely feel it catch and then be real hard. So we're gonna fire this two-handed and see what we get.
Now, was that an extract or a...
Failure to extract.
Okay.
I'm thinking. Brass come out.
Yep.
Brass come out.
Yep.
Brass come out. Brass come out. Brass come out. Brass come out.
So the...
Failure to extract. So we're getting less failures two-handed, so that's telling me that this gun needs everything it can get behind it to cycle. So like I was saying earlier, with this mag and loaded to capacity of 10 rounds, when you go to slingshot one in, you can feel a lot of resistance. So I'm going to try a 19 mag loaded with 10, see what we get there as far as it feels the same. That was real easy, so we'll see how it shoots one-handed. Same. Failure to extract. I wonder if I'm tweaking. So it's not even locking back on the last round half the time.
Well, that did not go as planned, did it?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Hey, it's been a couple weeks since we recorded the intro for Jamie's new gun, this Glock 26 that he got. And as you saw in our intro, things did not go as planned. And we've got a couple takeaways that we want to cover with you in here. One of which, right up front, we took quite a lot of feedback on the P365 videos that we did on the new Sig Sauer, and there were a lot of people that, oh, a gun should just run, you shouldn't have any problems. Well, here we are with a Glock that we're having problems with. But let's be right up front. This is a brand new Glock, sold at a gun store, brand new, and it's got issues. However, this is a Davidson's special edition gun. What they did is they took a factory Glock 26, they sent it off to a third party, they Cerakoted the frame and the slide, and then returned it to Davidson's, and Davidson's in turn sold it as a brand new gun. So it is not a factory original Glock, it has been modified, and that's where some of the issues arose from.
Yeah, so full disclosure, we noted that in the video that there was some Cerakote on the slide tabs, or the frame tabs, and inside the slide grooves. Now, you're talking thousandths, you know, so it's thin, very thin, but it was enough, you know, from what we concluded that it was causing drag, and that was causing the malfunctions we were experiencing. Now, I give you that it's a Glock, it should run out of the box, but they messed with Glock perfection by Cerakoting it. Okay, But all I hear is that Glock is, you know, known for running when it gets in the dirt, in the mud. And I'm thinking that no matter what gun it is or the manufacturer, if you get crud or mud, dirt, Cerakote, something that causes that gun to not function as it's supposed to, you're going to run into malfunctions no matter what gun or what the reputation is. So granted, this was a factory gun, brand new, but it was Cerakoted, so that might introduce some malfunctions, and I believe that's what we experienced.
And to that point, you know, we want to point out this was sold as a brand new gun. The average person going into a gun shop would not know that this gun did not come from Glock this way. In fact, we called Davidson's and asked the question of how these guns come to them, and they told us that this gun in this condition is sent out to a third party and Cerakoted. So it is not a factory original. But Jamie and I, we've shot a lot of guns. We own a lot of guns. Jamie works at a gun range. He works at a gun store. He sees a lot of guns. We have experience with malfunctions. We have experience with new guns, used guns. But your average person might not. And one of the reasons for sharing this with you, we were hoping to show a new gun on our young channel, but we also wanted to show that with any gun, you can have a malfunction with what was essentially a new gun out of the box. And we think that we've worked through those, or I shouldn't say we. Jamie thinks that he's worked through those malfunctions, and he can touch base on what he's done to the gun and what rounds he's done off camera. And then we're going to go out on the range. We're going to shoot some more with the gun, see if we encounter any issues, and we'll report back on whether or not the Glock 26 is running soundly for him.
Yeah, this is the very first gun that I bought.
New.
So I got this gun, took it down to the range, and I probably put maybe 50 rounds through it. And I had one failure to extract, I think, you know, what I considered it. And so I thought, it's a new gun, tight, needs, you know, weak ammo, whatever.
Could have been the ammo.
Yeah, and because I was running Freedom, and it's underpowered. That's just fact. It's lower on the lower end of the power factor. So I loaned it to a buddy to go down and shoot. He was thinking about getting a Glock 26, and he immediately started experiencing failure after failure. So I went down, shot it. Sure enough, it was failure after failure. It wasn't limp wrist. It wasn't anything. It was just, you know, and we got that on film.
Yep, and I happened to show up right at the tail end of them experiencing those issues. I grabbed my phone, and we filmed some of that day that you're seeing here in this video.
Yeah, and then Roger shot it right after our other friend did, and he changed ammo to Ammo Valley 124s, and that's a little more peppy, and he had 0 failures. So that's, you know, playing detective on deducing what's going on with this gun. That led us down the track of, you know, it's probably, as long as it's got enough power to blow the slide back and function as it should, it's going to run. But, you know, when we took it apart, seeing the Cerakote on the tabs and everything, was like, well, that's probably our culprit, is that Cerakote being in the grooves and on the slide tabs.
And then you had the idea, well, let's put some oil on the slide, and you see some video of us shooting undercover here at the range. Jamie took it out after putting a little oil on it. Never skipped a beat. Shot just like you would expect it to shoot right out of the box.
Yep. So I called Davidson's. It's got a lifetime warranty on the gun. All Davidson's guns come with an unconditional lifetime warranty. So she said send it back, and she'll send me a new gun. So I was like, well, it can't hurt. And that she had never had any problems with any of the Cerakoted ones that she knew of. So I was like, well, we'll send it back and see what we get. So we got another gun, identical. Took it apart. Sure enough, Cerakote was on the slide tabs.
And you'll see some video of that new gun
in
this video as well.
Yeah, and pretty much right out of the box, I started experiencing malfunctions and failures, even worse than I think this one gave me. So, being a Davidson's gun, I sent the new one back and just kept this one because, you know, I've just got enough experience to know that it's going to run, it's going to wear in, and it has. The more I shot it, you know, at home and here, I could feel it getting more loose and more loose. It was easier to rack a round into the chamber. It started running fine. I had my wife shoot it, and she's got a decent grip. You know, it's probably not as strong as mine, but she had 0 failures, and it was all off on the same lube that we put here that first day. I have not lubed it since, and I've probably got 200 rounds in it since then. We're going to shoot it some more today, put some more lower powered Freedom through it, 115s, and see what we get. And I'm just going to see how long it runs without lubing it, because I think the more I shoot it, the more it's wearing in. You can see the Cerakote starting to wear off the slide tabs, so we're just going to run it.
And speaking of the Cerakote rubbing off the slide tabs, you also did take a little bit of sandpaper to it to try to take some of that Cerakote off as well.
Just took the very high spots. I didn't want to get underneath of the slide tabs because I was starting to get into the frame and you know, scratch it all up, and so I just took a little bit off the top. It was still running before that, and I thought that couldn't hurt, but did very little. It was probably 1,000 grit sandpaper just to see if I could get some of that high spots off of it. Maybe that helped, maybe it didn't. I think the lube helped the most, a few drops of oil in the grooves and on the tabs. So we're going to see what we get today.
So just to kind of show what Jamie's talking about here, take the slide off, and we'll get a close-up on the camera here, but what we're talking about is the Cerakote right up here on the frame, and also on the grooves. In the inside of the grooves on the slide, and that just causing just enough variance and friction on the slide that we were having some failures, similar failures to what we experienced on the P365 that the internet exploded over, and everybody or a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon to say, you know, a gun needs to be reliable. There's no way to trust your life to that gun. Well, I think if you take a poll, you're not going to find a more reliable brand or a perceived reliable brand than Glock.
Yeah, reputation.
And here's a brand new gun that we had significantly more issues with out of the box than we ever experienced with the P365. But as we talked about on the P365, Jamie's mentioned already here, things will start to wear in, things will start to break in, things will run better, and we're going to go to the range now and see if we experience any issues with the Freedom 115 and the Glock 26, and let's go see what it does. Looks like it runs.
She's running. I like it. It's running.
It's running good for me. One nice thing on that 26, Jamie, because there are a lot of people on the internet really worried about you, you're not going to shoot your thumb off with that gun.
She's still there. I haven't shot it off with a 365 yet either.
Well, I think that was a success.
It was 70-ish rounds, no malfunctions. So that puts me over 200 with 0 malfunctions, just like a Glock ought to run. I think at this point, I'm going to keep shooting it. If we have any changes, if I run into where it finally ran out of its lube, if that's all it was, and if she malfunctions again, we'll make another video on that. But at this point, I'm going to keep putting. I need to put about 300 more through it before I'm really going to trust carrying it. I like to get 500 rounds, pretty flawless rounds to it before I want to trust my life to it.
And then find the right ammo, defensive ammo, that's going to run most accurate for you.
I have a guess it's going to be either HST or Gold Dots 124, maybe 147. We'll see how they run. We might do some testing on that today.
Yep. So I guess this video, we just want it to be used to kind of show that no matter what gun you purchase, you can always have an issue with it right out of the box.
Hiccup.
Yep, have a hiccup with it. Don't just purchase a gun and put ammo in it, start carrying it, and expect it to be there for you when you need it, if you need it. Hopefully you never do. But you got to go out to the range, you got to shoot it, you got to learn it, you got to practice with it, and you need to get a feeling that the gun is reliable. That's the same thing we did with the P365, or that I've done with the P365, making sure that it is reliable before I decide to carry it. This Glock 26 is an incredible user-friendly gun, nice and compact and concealable. It makes a dandy carry firearm, and with a little bit more practice, Jamie, I think you're going to find yourself a new daily carry.
Yep, I think so. You know, having working here at the gun store plus a gun range, I get to see a lot of right out of the box people going out and shooting, and I've seen quite a bit, and it's not specific to one manufacturer, it's across the board. Sometimes people that take a gun right out of the box, they don't clean the lube, the factory lube and gunk out of it, and they come out here and they experience malfunctions, and then they get all upset. We take it, break it down, field strip it, clean all the gunk out of it, put a couple drops of lube on the slide and stuff, and they go back and it runs flawless. So if you were to go on the first out of the box running, you would say, well, that firearm's junk, it's not going to run, it's the brand, it's this, it's that. No, it just needed some help. So I didn't want to give up on that little gun because it's a Glock. I mean, it should run, and I think now we've got past the wear in on that Cerakote, and she's running good. Anything changes, we'll definitely report back.
Yeah. And look for a future video as we talk about Jamie's experience with the Glock. Jamie has been a SIG P320 guy for several years, a couple years now,
since they first came out,
and was purely a P320 person. And he's made the move. Still love the P320s. I love my P320s, and I also love my Glocks. But look for a future video as Jamie puts more time with his Glock 26. He also picked up a Glock 19, and he'll explain why he's chosen to have a Glock in his arsenal. Not giving up on the SIG P320s, but he'll explain why the Glock has made a part of his rotation.
So if you guys like these videos, if you got any ideas, comments on what you want to see in the future, put them down below, and like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Oh, one more round.
Ooh.
Active shooter, Walmart parking lot. Stop the threat. Yeah! 35 yards.
We got 25 going across the pit, another 5 yards behind the sign.
Out of the pit.
Nice shot.
Sweet.